Hi, welcome back to the show, One Word a Day. Let me start by reviewing what we learned in the last episode. We learned a lot about donkeys and horses and how we put the two animals into our storytelling, into our lesson passing by capturing in our language. So 驴唇, see, I almost made a mistake of a 唇, but it's 唇. 驴唇不对马嘴. A little bit difficult to say, but it should be sounding like naturally. 驴唇不对马嘴. 驴唇不对马嘴. Okay, so basically a mismatch. Now we're going to continue with the story of 马. And 马后炮. 马后炮. Horse after Canon. Go figure. Okay, it actually came from a game. It's most popular Chinese board game, not Go, right? That's for the high class man who has a ton of time to sit in front of a board to, try to take up bigger space, that kind of game. The black and white stones, that kind of game. But this is another type, which is more fun to play, and a lot more people in China, especially men, another gendered game, play that because it's about war. There are horses involved and cannon in there. So you can see this is imagined war in a man's mind. It's very suitable when men have the luck not to go to war at a time. They at least put it in the game so they can live that moment of being, a warrior. I mean, it's honorable. That's captured in our game. So let's go one by one. 马. I would put a note over there that 马, being an animal, can also, this word, be used as the surname. It's one of the, top 10 surnames in Chinese. A lot of people, okay, the most famous one probably you have heard of Yo-Yo Ma. That's the Ma, okay? But in English, we don't say Yo-Yo Ma. Like nobody aware, it's actually the third tone. But we say Yo-Yo Ma. But Ma in Chinese is a totally different one, different word. But Yo-Yo Ma. He'd be impressed if you pronounce him as Yo-Yo Ma. Okay. Ho means after something. And this one, I did a little bit research of like, okay, this image that doesn't really like a 上 and 下, that's so obvious, right? Like 前 and 后. So we also have like in the front and in the back. This one, there's nothing to look like that. So where, like, how did it even come into being? This word becomes like something after the positioning of space. So it turns out this structure, so there's two horizontal lines and this long vertical line, that is a part that signifies something related to walking. So if you're on foot, you go by foot. That's what that means. And I guess, like, now is my imagination part because nobody explained it clear and probably nobody knows like why. So we have a mouse here, right? And we have walking. So I guess that simply means you're walking following the instruction of somebody. And somebody gave you order to walk somewhere and you follow. So that's like follow behind, like you are following the instruction. So the foot following what's from the mouse. Okay. How? Okay, this is an easy one. I can break it down. Probably you can figure out by now yourself. Left or right structure, which is the sound, which is the meaning? Can you make a guess? I'm going to tell you now. So this fiery looking thing is fire in our culture. So I guess it's the original form of fire. I guess that's the same as in Chinese American or Western culture. In any culture, fire is kind of this volatile thing, right? In space, is kind of spreading out like that, but the base is bigger and then the top is smaller. That's the general shape, almost like a Christmas tree, but in a fire form, right? Kind of like that. So originally it's like that, but in the limited space of a Chinese character, we have to put fire, this image like that, like kind of squish it like that. But we do have like a sparkles next to the fire. So this is the main fire body, and then you have something shooting out from the fire, something already separated from the fire. So there you go, that's our fire. And the right side by itself means bao. Bao with a B, like a boy. And because it's a sound maker, we switch out the original sound in this case, switch out the consonant from boy to poi, like to P sound. So originally it's a bao, now it's pao. So the tone changes as well as the consonant. Still, that makes it a sound maker, okay? Still deserves the sound maker status. Altogether, it means cannon, something fired with force. It's not just fire, but it's shoot out. Okay, so here is the board game that I talked about early on, and a very interesting comparison of the chess game in the West culture and this kind of a battlefield board game in Chinese culture is the form it plays. Some things are, some are common, some are very different. The horse in chess, wait, I forgot like how to say it. I think it's called a rook, right? It's a castle looking thing. I forgot in chess how to say that. The symbol with a horse that can it almost like move the same as well. Like you can go jump over something, right? That's the traditional horse. That's the main I'm talking about. It's beautiful in the original form. So this is ma, okay, simplified to this. Ho, pao, this is the pao over there. And basically the board game is like two armies fighting against each other, just like chess, the basic idea storyline. But we do have a river, a border river between the two kingdoms or regimes or military forces. So in the middle between the two camps, then they try to offense, defense, and there are set of rules. We have like this is the like an army leader role, and then these are like the rooks or pawns, actually pawns that move small steps, and then the cannon in the Chinese board game can shoot. It can shoot, for example, here you have the opponent over there, and you can shoot directly to here. So you can shoot over the top of something else. I'm not exactly sure about the chess, like probably nothing like a similar rule, right? Of this function, of this role. But that's the cannon, how cannon shoot. It's like over the top of something directly into the deep of the enemy. And altogether, what does it mean? Horse after the cannon. I'm pretty sure it came from a strategy that maneuver from the board game. Like if you face a situation, you move your cannon, and then afterwards, the next step should be move the horse. And then that's like a guaranteed a bigger victory, something like that. But at the moment of playing, the player didn't see that move. So it's a lost opportunity. And when this person reflect on what happened and try to make it better, he would come up with this, like, oh, I would have done that, but I didn't. So I find the correspondent meaning as afterthought. It actually has a kind of negative connotation in it, because if you're reflecting on something and you said, I should have done this or that, that's kind of critical of your current self or critical of a situation, the current situation, a mess you're facing. But you didn't take action, the right action back then. And so it's kind of like you're critical of the past, either you or somebody else that didn't do things right. And whoever is commenting as like, you are just doing it ma hou pao, means like, you're just, talking negative about something, but you didn't really have the right to say so. Almost like you should zip. Like it's none of your business to commenting the past behavior when you probably could have done something right back then, and now you lost the opportunity. You don't even need to say it. It's hard to explain. I hope the sense passed over. It's like afterthought, but sharing your afterthought may not be appreciated. Okay, and one interesting behavior of playing this game is a contrast. I just want to point out one point. In chess, things are quiet, right? You make your move, and then you remove whatever you killed or catch from the board quietly. Everything is so civilized. It's like people remain calm, playing, like all the inner dramas are internalized, like you don't show your opponent your emotions at all. That's the higher form of, a well-trained chess player, but not the case in Chinese, because it's a kind of battlefield simulation. Men who cannot go to battlefield but still want to experience the heroism on that, and still want to have the sound effect from winning the game. They made it really loud. Really, really loud. I remember when I was growing up, and when this board game was still popular, and people, later, men from the neighborhood would sit down under the tree after dinner, and that's the best pastime after dinner. And they will sit, and a bunch, it's like a spectator sport, right? A bunch of men, hovering over to watch just two men playing this battlefield, imagine the battle. And then they would make this loud sound. You can see the board is made of like bamboo, and to amplify the sound, they make it like a hollow in the middle. So the top layer, the bottom layer, and there is a whole sound box below it. And this how to say, discs, they're also made of a solid bamboo. So you can imagine solid bamboo hitting on the sound box made of bamboo, made a loud sound. And also, like when you are eating or you're getting rid of your enemy's piece from the board, the right way to do it is like, okay, imagine this is the enemy's and this is yours. You get rid of this, right? The motion, the movement would be like you hitting on really hard this piece that you legitimately maneuvered out of the board, right? You bam it and then took it out, put it on the side. And that's like a victory move, like a small move victory. And that's made it fun, make it like even, it's almost like a acting out the violence in the battlefield. And, man, just enjoy that game so much. And I mean, some girls also play it. It's not really that gender exclusive, but I guess men would enjoy it more. So that's our board game, and I think that's kind of coming to the end of our story made of horses and donkeys. I hope you enjoyed this this episode, and I hope you have a good day and see you another day. Bye.